Alrighty, welcome back. We're back at it. I'm your man, Bad Chad, and Queen Jolene's on the camera. I said it the day that we started doing this that I'm going to make a bunch of mistakes, and I'm making mistakes one right after another. I made a couple mistakes today. I made one yesterday, and I made one the day before that. Me trying to put 15-inch hubcaps on a 14-inch wheel. When the camera went down, that was stupid. I figured it out. Yesterday when I said the radiator hose went to the water pump, took me, as soon as the camera down, I figured that out. I did it wrong. But what I'm saying is that doing something like this, if you're not doing anything, you're not going to make mistakes. Doing something, you're going to make mistakes full time. It's how fast you recover and get back on it. And that's what I try to do to get this stuff done. Now I realize, no, I don't realize. Now I would like people to realize when it comes to finishing a car, there's a big difference between me out there cutting something up and welding it all up and making it look like something. To finish something, you have to make sure, or you have to realize there's every piece and part that you have to go over. When I'm building cars here, we obviously know I'm going through the suspension, I'm going to the steering, I'm going to the engine, I'm going to the brake lines, I'm going to where the battery box goes. I'm doing everything, and it requires making a lot of mistakes. It does. And as I'm doing it, I'm remembering all the mistakes that I made over the past times building cars. But in the end, I've tried to overcome them and just keep going, and overcome them. Sometimes I get frustrated when I look at the car. I haven't got anything that I can just run out to the junkyard and make it work. I have to go get it. So this morning, I spent an hour, 2 hours, running and going, get some copper and some rubber hose to make some radiator hoses. And the thing is, if you've never done it before, I'm going to explain it. I'm going to make a radiator hose today, but if you've never gone to Napa and look up at all the radiator hoses and say, yep, that one's going to fit, and then bring it home, and it does not fit. After you cut it, it does not fit. I've done it so many times. Take it back, get another one. It's a hard thing to do. Yes, take a piece of coat hanger, bend it up to the shape that you want, take it over, that one's going to fit, and then bring it back, and it does not fit. Done it many times. If you have not, or if you have never built a car before and run and gotten every piece that you need, you basically would have no idea. And I have done it many times. This morning I ran over and got some copper, and I've made a couple mistakes with the copper. I had to go back and get another one because I thought an elbow and a 45 would do it. No, when I got back here, it wasn't an elbow, it was 2 elbows. So basically what I'm saying is I'm going to make mistakes full time. The intake on the engine, it will work on the engine, yes it will. But this is the issue I'm having. We started with a 67 Jag engine with 2 carbs on it. We had an intake that fits this with 2 carbs on it, but it has an extra piece on the intake which brought the carburetors out farther. When I took that piece off to put the carburetors on the intake that's on the engine to make it in closer, it bolted up different. So we had to make, I actually took it out this morning to get a couple shims made so the carburetors will fit on the intake, and I will show that probably on the next video if I can get it done in time. But just today, right now, I'm going to make a radiator hose, and God bless me. Just bless me because I want it to work. I want it to work. I don't enjoy running the roads trying to find stuff. I do not enjoy that. I enjoy just going straight forward. And when you slow down and you try to finish something, it's not like that. You have to run and go get the parts. If you ever watched the show Overhauling, they have, I don't know how many people, they build the car in 7 days. Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. It probably took them months to figure out the parts that they needed and have them delivered. It would take months to have the parts figured out and delivered. You are not going to get and rebuild a car and find every piece in a week. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. So just for you and I, it takes a long time to figure out, find, things that you're going to build your car with. All right, I got some copper elbows here. I'm going to build the radiator hoses out of copper, and the only reason I'm going to build them out of copper, Jolene's going to light me up. Hope my face looks good. They're going to build them out of copper, and the reason I want to build them out of copper, I think it would look a little bit more industrial, like the car has rivets all through it. I want to get some different colors in underneath the hood there. I just don't want a black hose. When I went over town, there's lots of hoses over there you could pick from to try to fit something. And what I've got going on here is I need, from the radiator that I had to make work, I welded the bottom hose connection on the bottom, and I turned it straight up. Now what I wanted to do, I wanted to turn over towards the bottom of the water pump here. So I got one elbow here, and I've got one elbow here, and I'm going to solder them together, hook some hose to them, and then I'm going to connect them to the water pump and the bottom of the radiator. So that's going to be our bottom radiator hose. First I'm going to, let's do it. I've got some hose that I bought at Traction, our local truck store, and I got some copper that I bought at, what was that place called? Summit? No, something like that. Sumner's maybe, Sumner's, and I bought some elbows. It was not cheap, and things are not cheap anymore when it comes to copper and that sort of stuff, but I'm going to solder them together. I got some piece of 2-inch copper up the mountain to solder them together. Let's sand it off, get it cleaned up, solder them together, and see if we can't make a bottom hose. Just going to take a piece of sandpaper here, clean a piece up. So when it comes to finishing a car, there's a lot of things that go on, and money starts getting involved. If you look down there at the floor, those two pieces and what I got going on the floor, you're almost looking at $150. You know, it don't take long. It does not take long to burn up some money nowadays, and that's why I say I always try to keep it reasonable. I'm going to knock that on the ground, but I don't want to. I don't want to. Just trying to clean this off. Solder will not stick when it's dirty. I stored that in the junkyard. That's where I got it. Where I got it. Oof. Don't want that anymore. Gonna get a knife and scrape it. So today I'm just making a simple radiator hose, and it's going to take me more time than just to make a simple radiator hose. So if you've never actually built a car before, you would not know the painstaking time you spend running and looking for things. You would never expect the time it takes to find and search out things that you're looking for. I don't know what's on this pipe, but it's doing a good job staying there. Wow. Wow. That's all I got to say. Wow. I like building radiator hoses out of copper. I think it looks nice. And I also, I just think it looks nice. I'm going to take the drill over here and just clean it off a little bit more. looking better. Now, when I put these two pieces together, what I'm thinking is I just need enough to put these two pieces together, and then I'm going to add the rubber hose to what's going on. So that actually does quite nicely what's going on there. I'm telling myself that. So I'm going to put this piece together and this piece together, and I'm going to how long a piece I want. So I want it to fit into there, and be a little bit longer, I suppose, so I can solder it together. I'm just going to take my thumb, take it over to my grinder, and not cut my thumb off. And nowadays, even just to find out where to get the stuff that you need, what I have gotten is 2-inch copper. This is 2-inch copper. That's a 2-inch elbow. So when it comes to the end, it comes like to a 2 1/4. In order for me to get a 2 1/4-inch hose, I had to go to fit over top of that copper, I had to go to a truck place. And when you're building a car, generally you do not think of going to a truck store, but that's where I had to go. And that's where I had to go. My hands are a bit dirty. I probably should. I'm going to wash them off for a second, just because while I'm dealing with that and I'm going to solder that, I do not want any dirt flying around. I love this soap. I have I guess a new friend or a new guy that comes in. He owns this company for this hand soap, and I must say, after using it a while, I'm in love with it. I really am. There's the name of it there, So Clean. Wood and Wyatt. Wyatt? Can't read it upside down. And he was nice enough to put it up there for free. Someone complimented my hands one time, how clean they were, and I'll have to say it's because of the soap. Just going to get into soldering that, and I want to make sure my hands are clean while I'm doing it. I probably should have a rag to see what we can do. And the hose that we bought is blue. I could have got black. I could have went to Napa to buy a piece of a piece of radiator hose that went over this copper elbow. I had to buy the whole hose, obviously. It was over $50. So either way you look at it, it's an ordeal. It's an expensive ordeal to got to sand both areas that I'm soldering. This is not something I do every day. I just do it when I have to. And take from these videos what you like and throw away what you don't like. Make sure of that full time. But I like the idea of throwing a little bit of copper on this car. The reason being, it's supposed to be from the 30s. But this one's from my brain. My brain. Like the old saying is. I only do what my brain tells me to do. Don't it, baby? I only do what my brain tells me to do. So if you're watching me work on this, and you're thanks for coming back. I appreciate it. throwing out the good comments and all that stuff. I really appreciate it. If you're working on something and you make a few mistakes, just say, Chad makes mistakes. Bad Chad makes mistakes. You know, make sure that you know that, obviously, that I make mistakes. Make them all the time. Sometimes I'm not happy about it, but yeah, I have to realize I'm only human. I'm only human, you know. Basically, I'm only human. I'm just trying to eye it up the best I can. And I like that. I haven't got a marker on me. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to probably end up burning it off, but I'm going to make a mark on it so I know that I'm in the place where I want to be. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'd like to solder them both on at the same time is what I'd like to do. That way there I'm not heating and preheating, and one goes there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw on, let's just try it so I can get it back the line straight against where I'm going. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on the power steering pump and see if that fits, because I don't know until I try it, basically. So this part of building a car, I'm not ecstatic about going and leaving the shop and trying to find stuff. I'm not ecstatic about that part. But it has to be done because no one's going to deliver the stuff that I need. And sometimes to explain it over the phone what you need is harder than just going and getting it. And sometimes when you go get it, you don't even know what you're going to get. Like I went twice just for copper, and that's a half-hour away each way. So that took me time to go do that. That takes time. Not a baby. But we get out of the house, didn't we? Huh? Went for a ride. Jolene looks amazing today, as usual. Kept me company the whole way. What I'm going to try to do, putting it together here, got the right, nope, this one. I'm going to try to solder it together at the same time. Hope I, yep. So, just line our lines back up again. And then we're going to try to solder that bad boy back together. Solder that bad boy together. Hopefully we get it right. I don't solder every day, so if you want to critique my soldering, that's fine. Isn't it, baby? That's fine. Stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Now, I want to stay still. There. Don't know if I need that tooth picker in the way. Let's do it. Don't know if I should be doing one at a time or both at the same time. Forgive me, I do not know. All I know is I'll just solder them together at the same time and hopefully I can get it. I do know that the solder follows the heat. Probably should be heating down here because the heat will rise. I'm going to take the torch to the other side. Quite thick copper, so it's probably take a little bit, no doubt in my mind. Got that flame good. Some solder going there now. Got some heat going. When it gets hot enough, that should just suck it right around it, hopefully. It'll run right to the bottom. You pull me out some more solder, sweetheart. Just hold, not to grab the hot part of it, just grab the, yeah. Yep. Yep, thank you. Solder dripping off the bottom yet? Oh, flux core is though. This side. Don't like taking the heat off, but not sure if I'm going to do the right thing here, but nope, probably didn't. Hope my lines are still lined up, a little off. Oh, got solder running down there. Big puddle of solder. Didn't realize it was running off there. I got a puddle of solder running off there, baby. Not sure if I'm doing the right thing or not here. I don't know. I got a big puddle of solder. Oh, I got lots of solder running off this bad boy. Running right inside. Look at that now, would you? Just doesn't seem like it's filling in like it should. You know it as well as I do, once you get water going, there's a different story going on. Here we go. Pliers. I might have wanted to solder one at a time. Still hot enough. I'm gonna clean that off, probably, no doubt in my mind. Making a mess, ain't I? Huh? Baby? Making a mess? This is not my day job. That's for sure. I'm going to say I got it. Didn't look very good, does it? Didn't do a very good looking job. Not a real good looking job at all, but You know, it'll tell me when the water's put to it. Knock that off, I think. This is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go over it again. I'm just going to puddle it up on all the way around, because I can. Pretty hot. I sort of just want to make sure. And you're allowed to laugh at me. And make sure you know I'm doing what I got to do to get it done. I'm going to flop that over. I was going to grab it with my hand. Don't want to do that, do I, sweetheart? Nope. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing to the other side. Just sort of try to make sure that it's soldered, that's all. And I can sand it down with something to make it look. There we go. Oh, I got enough on her. There. Now I'm happy. Now I'm happy. Now I'm happy. Now I'm going to knock that off after it gets cool here. It's going to cool down for a minute because it'll turn on me. Hopefully I still got it at the right angle. Hopefully I can knock this off, which I hope I can. If I can, I will knock it off, sand it off or something. I get a little sanding wheel there, a flapper wheel there. This will help me out. The copper's nice and thick. If I want to sand it and make it look good, which I probably will, because it's going on Jolene's car. And I did not want to buy a rubber hose for a car. I did not want to. I could have went over and searched for that. Just didn't want to. Did not want to. That is super duper hot. I don't know if I should be even playing with it right now, but what a nice color. Try to, don't want to touch it right now. It's very, very, very hot. But I have some solder on the inside of it I want to dig out. Chad's playing with copper pipe today, huh? That does not matter, as long as it does not go in the... It's in there. I'd say she's sealed up pretty good. She looks like she's sealed up to me. Now it's just a matter of waiting to see when I can touch it. I haven't got the airline on, air hose on, have I? That's probably pretty hot. No doubt in my mind that that's very hot. Grab it with a rag, see how hot it is. Too bad. Too bad. Good. Alrighty. It's dissipating. Awesome. Just hold up for a second, and then we'll cut some hose, and we'll put it on and see what it looks like. I might sand it. I probably should sand it. What do you think? Sand it with a flapper wheel, or do you like it that color? Like, it's kind of an odd. Hit it with a flapper wheel, shine her up a little bit. I guess. It's all about the look right at the present moment. It's all about the look. Got a piece of 220 here. It's going to turn colors on us anyways. I don't mind that. Don't mind the different colors on it, to be honest with you. Now, don't want to annoy the fan. So we need that much blue hose. Do you like that measurement? Now, I don't really want to get this blue hose dirty. Maybe we can clean it after. But I'm going to have to get back here to cut it because I'm on a short leash. Jolene was taking notice when we come home that this stuff is made at Vietnam, and Jolene went to Vietnam. Did you know it, sweetheart? Jolene went to Vietnam. She loved it. Did you know it? Thought it was a great place? Great culture? What do I know about culture? Like I said, the only culture I got is dirt underneath my fingernails. Alrighty. I like the color of that where it turned yellow, and I like the color of it. I think we're going like that. Goes on there like that. Goes on there like that. And we'll have a piece that goes down there. You can come down some. Probably fit that right directly on that. So I need another piece cut. Hopefully we can clean that up. That blue not going to affect the distributor cap. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. So I need rid of the 1/4 inch. I like the zip cut to cut things like that, just because sometimes you can get a straighter line, you start using a zip cut sometimes it's hard to get a nice straight line. I find the zip cut you can aim it a little bit better than you can a zip cut. Trying to get all the stuff out of this, obviously. Let's take this one off. There we go. Get it down on our radiator. Sometimes radiator hoses are tricky. Sometimes. And then I'm saying we got our radiator hose on. It's not in the way of the fan. Get a 1/2 inch from the fan. Alrighty. I'm saying our first radiator hose is on. Now, I like the hard line there because of the fan. I like the hard line. Now I'm going to take the power steering pump squealer. I'm going to try to put that on just because I got to know if it fits. So this is the deal here. This is the deal or deal breaker. I'm going to do just like I did yesterday, sweetheart. You pass me the bolt that I can shove into the power steering pump. There. Now. Good. All right. First radiator hose put on with the power steering pump in place, and we're cooking with gas on that one. We're cooking with gas. Now on the second one, the intake comes across here, and the thermostat is on the end of the intake. I should have realized before I was pointing at that. I kind of was frustrated with the fan, but I'm thinking that now I get thinking about it, the fan is fine. We're going to go with it probably, and if it flies off, then I'll know it's bad. The intake comes along here, and the distributor, or the not distributor, what do I call it? Thermostat is on the end of that, so I know it goes into there. But so now I have 2 pieces of copper for that one because the thermostat is down here. So this is what I got for here. So we got 2 pieces of copper that are going to come down. There's going to be a hard line over top of the fan and into the thermostat. Now I must tell the truth because that's the kind of guy I am. When I took and measured for the hoses on the water pump and the radiator, I went like this, 1.5 inches. So I need 1.5 inches. So I go and get 1.5 inches pipe. Fits perfectly. Now, when I come back, I've noticed that I do not even need, well, I need some of the 1.5 inch pipe to put these together, obviously. But in the end, I figure that I'm only going to need the distance of the two 45s to make it work, put a little piece of hose, and be done. So now, this is what happened. Look, I'm bigger than the radiator. So what happens is, I need to go 1.25 inches, or whatever it is, 1 inch or 1.25 inches, and then have the elbows, and then they'll work. So I need to exchange those, or that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to exchange these, because I'm not going to need the 1.5 inch pipe. I'm going to need 1.5 inches, but I want it at the 45. So that's how easy it is to make a mistake, if you know what I'm trying to tell you. The bottom one, I got lucky. I made it work, basically, and I'm happy with the way it looks. The power steering pump is going to work. We're leaking all over the place. I'm happy the way it works. There's another couple hurdles that I'm going to have to jump with this bad boy. I've got power steering lines hooking in the back of that, and I've got 2 different power steering lines hooking up to the rack and pinion, and they're totally different in different year and in different hookup. And I'm going to have to jump another hurdle there to get lines made to make it work. All right, everybody, thanks for coming back. We appreciate it. This is going to be the point in time that like I said, I'm going to make a lot of boo-boos. We have the intake out being machined for a couple spacers for the carburetors. Hopefully, I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, that he's going to do that up for me, and he'll get it done when it's time. But I'm hoping soon, if possible. I want to appreciate everybody coming back, and all the comments, and all the help, and the whatever. We're working at it. This is what has to happen when you're building a car. You make mistakes, and you just try to keep chugging forward, and that's what I'm trying to do. So if you make a mistake in your project, you just say, "Let Bad Chad make mistakes all the time. I'm just as good as he is. I can do it just as well as he can." And you can, basically, you know. The only time the car is going to leave the building is when we finish it. And however many mistakes I make, it does not matter, because I'm going forward every day by trying to get something done. You know, even though I had to go to town twice and spend a little extra time, I did get a hose on, so I'm going forward. I know my power steering pump works, and it's awesome. All right, everybody, have fun. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and realize that if you're doing something, you're going to make mistakes. Have a good one. See you tomorrow.